So this is an interesting one, and I have a few thoughts. Hoi hoi folks, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're not new, then welcome back. And as you might tell from my attire and the box on the desk and the title and thumbnail for this video and everything else, yes, it is Scrawler Challenge time. So we've already opened this Scrawler box. This is the March 2024 box. We've not done the challenge yet, and that's what we are going to do today. However, I have been doing some experimenting, and I want to share some of those experiments with you. But before we get into that, let's remind ourselves of what actually came in this box. Hello, welcome to the desk. So, yes, this is the March 2024 box. Let's have a little look at what is inside. So, we had these Pentel brush sign pens, twin tip pens, in actually quite a nice array of colours, quite a nice little palette here. So these are the pens that we have got. I'll show you the swatches with these in just a minute, but these are double-ended fibre tip pens. So we've got a broad brush tip, there we go, and we've also got a nice fine nib on there as well. And yeah, actually very nice pens. We also have a Unipin fine liner, it's a 0.5 in sepia. Very nice as well. The Unipin's a pretty robust standard pen that, you know, everyone seems to like, and I'm no exception to that. I do really like Unipin pens. Then we also had the Frisk gel pen, which kind of reminded me of the Jelly Roller, but honestly, a lot better. The Jelly Roll pens can be very hit and miss. This one has been great. I've really enjoyed this. So very nice white pen. So had our sticker and scrawler, zine and print and everything else. We also had this Sea Whites of Brighton sketchbook, which is a very nice sketchbook. I'm just going to put it out there. It is a lovely sketchbook. I really like Sea Whites of Brighton. I've had several of their sketchbooks in the past. I will happily pick up more in the future. In fact, in my drawer under the desk, I've got 3 of them ready to go. Yeah, I'm a bit of a hoarder with notebooks and sketchbooks, even if I don't use them all the time. But yeah, Sea Whites of Brighton, very nice. The issue that I have with this particular box and this pairing is that this is not really a wet media paper. It can handle some wet media, but not, I think, the amount that you would need to turn these into what was suggested in the Scrawler zine, more of a watercolour. And I'm no stranger to that. I do it a lot with Stabilo pens, using them as watercolours, and these Pentel pens working very much the same way. You can scribble it on a piece of plastic and use them, or put it onto the paper and apply water. So just to show you the swatches that we did last time. So I did sketch in the cover of this so I could test out the white pen. Came up very nice. And then we've got these colours here, and they just seem a little bit dull, and the texture of the paper has kind of given a weird texture to the ink on the page as well. It does blend nicely. You do get a nice line variation. The Unipin pen works fantastically on here. Very nice. However, I decided to do a little bit of wet swatching down here. So I've laid some pen down, and I've just applied a little bit of water over the top, and that page has buckled like nobody's business. I mean, it hasn't really gone through to the other side, which is great, but it has pretty much ruined this side here, so I'm not going to be able to draw on there in the future. This, I think, is a really good sketchbook for pencil and for pen, not for wet media like watercolours or using water with pens. I did, however, go ahead and do a couple more swatches. So over here, this is watercolour paper. This is cold pressed watercolour paper. It's slightly textured. The colour on here is really nice. It's a really consistent value. The colours bleed into each other, so you get a very nice matte value on there. It blends together really nicely, as you can see here. It also handles obviously the wet media very well, because it's watercolor paper. That's what it's designed for. I also went ahead and used this. This is just some cardstock. It's like a Bristol paper. I've got tons of this stuff. I use this for sketching ink all the time. So I thought I'd want to test the ink on this. The ink itself, very nice, and you can layer it very nicely. You can see the strokes of the pen as it goes down, which actually I think is something that you occasionally want. You want to see those marks. I've been doing a lot of testing over here with blending and layering. You can see we've got a bunch of different values in here. Here, you can almost get to black by layering up those brown tones and the sepia pen as well. The white pen really likes this. The uni pen really likes this. So I think this is actually what I'm going to be doing today, not using wet media, because as you can see, and this happened with some ink as well. So another water-based ink that I use, it separates the pigments in the ink, and then you get this weird feathering of the colours as they separate at different levels. There's a scientific explanation for it, which I'm not going to go into. But yeah, the dispersal of the ink is different for different colours, and it causes this weird effect. So I'm not going to be using water for this. I am just going to be using the pens straight as they are, but I'm going to be using this Bristol type paper instead, not watercolour, although that is a perfectly good option, and not the sketchbook. That sketchbook is going to be used at other times for sketching. But let's take a little reminder of the Scrawlrchallenge and the challenge for this month, which is hidden gems, just there. And listen, if you have followed this channel for a while, if you've followed me on social media and the art that I post on there, you'll know I love wildlife art. And I like weird wildlife as well, or unique wildlife. There is a bird, the pink-browed rosefinch, which is indigenous to Asia, which I think would perfectly suit these colours. I think I can make a nice piece of artwork using these colours for that subject. And it is a little hidden gem. If you ever see a picture of it, you'll think, wow, that is a gorgeous little bird. And it's one of the quirks of nature and wildlife, that you've got this very pinky purple bird. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. I need to get initial sketch done, so I will be using my Scrawlrchallenge Blackwing pencil. This one's getting short, so I'm going to have to sharpen it and start some fresh ones soon. But yeah, I'm going to get a sketch down, and then I'm just going to go through and start playing around with these pens and seeing what we can do in terms of creating a piece of artwork. Okay, so I've got my little sketch ready. So this is the bird that we're going to be doing today. So I think, order of operation wise, I'm going to go ahead and use the fine liner first to really dial in this drawing and turn it into a proper finished drawing, before then going in and colouring with the Pentel Brush Sign twin pens. That is such a mouthful to say. The Pentel pens. So yeah, that's I think what I'm going to do. Once I've got all the colouring for those, I'll start building up texture with them. I think I'll use the uni pin again for that, as well as the white gel pen as well, just because I noticed with this Frisk pen that you can go over the Pentel pens, and if you just kind of tap it with your fingers, it brings some of it up and it just lightens the colour that's already there. I'll show you what I mean when we actually get to that point, but yeah, it's just a case of laying in white over what you've got, tapping it, and it lightens that value. But yeah, I think I'm going to turn over to the overhead camera and start inking this up. But before we do that, did you know I have a goal this year to get to 10,000 subscribers on the channel? And it's so easy for you to get involved and to help and to join the Frogface family. All you have to do, you see, just down there, right down there, there's a subscribe button. Just click it. That's all. You know what? If you want to go the extra mile and really show people that you enjoyed the video, click the like button as well, and maybe they'll join us. You know, you help me, I help you. I do giveaways and tutorials. All you have to do is like and subscribe. It's a win-win situation. Anyway, that's given you enough time to click the button, so let's get back to the video. Okay, actually that didn't take very long at all, and I think I've come to a point where I'm quite happy with this piece. So this is the Pink Browed Rosefinch, a real hidden gem of the animal world. It's my interpretation of the prompt for the Scrawler challenge. I actually really do like these brush pens. The nibs are very nice. The ink could work together a little bit nicer. Like you can definitely see when you're layering on top those brush marks, which can be a plus or a minus depending on what you want to do with them. I made them work for me today. I do really like the white gel pen from Frisk. I do really enjoy this, and actually it went on surprisingly well. I was able to, as you saw, put in sections, lighten it up, and then go over with even more colour and build up lighter tones within the picture, which was actually really fun to do. Been able to put in a lot of texture on this. I think the colour palette works really well too. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts below, so do leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of this piece. Tell me what you think of the box as well. If you've had this box and you've used the supplies, what do you think of them? Do you think they were good? Do you think they were bad? What were the things that were stand out for you as either pros or cons? I really do love to find out from you guys as well. But for now, as always, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video, and until next time, goodbye.